So, Night Viewer. Now, I noticed lately a lot of people, well, there's been a bit of confusion going on. And it has to do with the new masterpiece movie Optimus Prime. Now, I've actually received a couple messages from a couple people to see if I was getting the figure and if I was going to do a quick fix for it. And apparently, from my understanding, I mean, I've watched a couple of videos. I don't know if anybody posted up like um, a resolution or found the source of how to fix the problem. Pretty much the problem is that when you put Optimus Prime, transform him in his truck mode, the hood and the cab don't seem to be flush within the vehicle. And I've also noticed that from watching various videos, a lot of people in the comment section keep saying, oh, you're transforming it wrong, you're doing it wrong, or they will send links like, oh, watch this video, or dude, you don't know what you're doing, or whatever. And from what it sounds like to me, it seems like the video creator is actually following the instructions of how it's supposed to be transformed. Now, here, let me give you guys a heads up about something. Now, it's even found in third-party Takara Tomy or Hasbro. Everybody that makes Transformers is actually guilty of this. There are times in the instruction where they either miss out on a step, or there's even a probability that the arrangement of the instruction of how to do the transformation may not be exactly A, B, C. Like, it could accidentally be A, C, B. You know what I mean? Like, maybe, because you gotta give these guys credit where due. They are transforming exactly how the instruction is. Sometimes they don't even tell you, oh, by the way, you're supposed to do this. It's one of those things where you have to figure out for yourself. That's one of the reasons why there's people like myself that would do quick fixes, or they will be like, hey, this is what I discovered, things that is not mentioned in the instructions. I mean, there's even fan modes on figures. But anyway, to appease all you guys about the masterpiece Optimus Prime, I am not getting it. It's just that for me, opinion-wise, I feel like it's a bit too early for Optimus Prime to get a masterpiece figure. Granted, I understand there's a lot of people who are huge fans of him. Me, I am a fan of the movie Optimus. No, I mean, in terms of the figure. The only movie Optimus Prime figure I actually own was from Age of Extinction, where he was like the flat-nosed truck. That's about it. I would like to get the Optimus Prime that combines with Jetfire, but I don't have either of those. But anyway, that's besides the point. Pretty much is, don't give these guys a lot of hardship, because if you really think about it, like I said, not third-party companies done this, Hasbro done this, even Takara Tomy is guilty of this, where they will not implement everything in the instructions. And plus, if you think about it, the people that do the instructions, that had to do the pictures, the catalog, pretty much showing how to transform the figure, they only are given enough spaces. So sometimes, who knows, maybe at the drawing board there were more value or more pictorial or verbal, whatever, instruction of what the figure can do. But like I said, they can only have a certain amount of spaces. That's why you will notice there are some steps that are missing, or there are some things that are not mentioned where people down the line discovers it, or there are alternate transformations, things of that nature. Like, for example, and it's probably the only example I can give, if you remember R.I.D. Megatron, I don't mean the robot in disguise, I mean, well, yeah, I do, but I'm talking about the one way back, not this current one that they're showing now, but way back where, it was like anime-ish, where, you had Skybite and so on and so forth. The Megatron figure was advertised to only do, I believe, up to 6 modes. However, the Galvatron figure, which is literally a repaint, advertised that it has more than 6 modes. That's because they added a couple pegs. However, if you have the regular Megatron, you can still do those extra modes that the Galvatron has. It's just that it may not be as stable, or, well, more than likely, I actually own it and I did all those other transformation. I can honestly say for my figure it was stable, but for the Galvatron figure, from what I understand, there were extra pegs which makes it hold a lot better. So that's why if you were to look at the instructions of that RID Megatron, you will not see those extra modes because it was not advertised for it. But they threw that onto the Galvatron because, believe it or not, that figure is supposed to do those other modes, but because of advertisement marketing, they used it specifically for the Galvatron figure, even though those instructions can be used for that Megatron. So that's pretty much an example. It's like, you know, sometimes they're given enough space to put in the instruction, and like I said earlier, if you read the instruction manual, they probably did not put it in as orderly as possible. Like I said, you know, like the format of ABC, it could have been like ACB. You know, there are some steps that probably was supposed to not be like at square 4, but should have been at square 7, or the spot that is square 8 is supposed to be at square 2. You know, things of that nature. It's like a jargon. But, and there are also moments where they just don't show anything. Do that mean they didn't think about it at the drawing board? It's a 50-50% chance. But at the same time, they probably did, but they didn't have enough space to put in the actual finalization of the instruction. So, for those of you that are hoping I do the Masterpiece Optimus Prime Quick Fix, again, I'm not really interested in getting that figure, but it does look like, you know, it's more of like quality control, so to speak. Like maybe they didn't, well, they should have put in the step to make it more smooth, more fluid, more streamlined. You know, having the thing, that hump on the hood of the car, and the actual cab not being flush with the whole truck mode, I can see it being an eyesore, but it's not the end of the world. Maybe you're supposed to twist an arm, maybe you're supposed to do whatever, but hopefully somebody find a way and make it more clerical, because, by the way, like, oh, you may have to be careful about it, because if you do decide to mod it, there are some mods that can actually damage your figure, so definitely be careful. And wish you guys good luck, and don't give a lot of these video creators, you know, cut them a little bit of slack. Don't give them that much hardship, because if they're going by what the instruction says, if the instruction is wrong and they're just following it, that doesn't mean they're wrong. It could be the instruction. Alright then, later.